to give us a talk on Valentines, inshallah.
أعوذ بالله الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ومن آياته أن خلق لكم من أنفسكم أزواجا لتسكنوا إليها وجعل بينكم مودة ورحمة إن في ذلك لآية لقوم يتفكرون. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, brothers. I hope inshallah you all well rested. I hope you all inshallah ready to receive an interesting talk. Hopefully it will go well. Inshallah, brothers, we should all make intention that we're here to seek the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So inshallah we can get the greatest amount of reward from today's session. Now obviously, as you guys know, tomorrow is February 14th, yeah? And it's also well known as what, Valentine's Day, isn't it, yeah? And we thought in this auspicious occasion we're going to talk about an issue which obviously affects a lot of us in this society, which is the relationship between boys and girls, yeah? And we're going to look at a relationship in this society, in Western society. We're going to look at what causes this, what drives this relationship between people, and what it leads to, yeah? And then inshallah, we're going to look at the Islamic solution or the Islamic relationship as well, inshallah, yeah? But I thought a good place to start, yeah? And by the way, I know I'm probably a little bit older than you guys, yeah? But I'm also looking to get married as well, yeah? So, you know, I think we're in the same boat, inshallah, yeah? And if you know any good sisters, let me know, yeah? But back to the talk, inshallah, yeah? Regarding kind of, I was thinking, look, first thing maybe to look at might be, what kind of relationships do we see in society? What kind of people do we see, yeah? You know, what we see so many different relationships there, boyfriend, girlfriend, but what's driving these relationships? And I'll give you one example, yeah, that I've seen, yeah? And that's like in schools. You'll see this one generally in schools, yeah? And this is like, you'll see a boy and a girl, yeah? Let's say Hamza and Aisha, yeah? You see these two, and what they'll do is they'll go to school and they'll have like, they'll eat, they'll eat lunch in the canteen together. In the classroom, they'll sit together, yeah? You know, they're known as boyfriend, girlfriend, yeah? In the playground, they hold hands, yeah? But as soon as they leave the gates of school, yeah? As soon as they leave the gates, that relationship doesn't exist, yeah? They're like, you know what's called Jason Bourne, yeah? It's like proper, you know, double agents, yeah? Outside, nobody knows. Nobody knows, yeah? You know, if they send a text message, the guy who sent a text message, and he'll go to his sent inbox and delete it straight away, yeah? The girl, she'll get the text message, she'll read it, and what she'll do, she'll delete it straight away. There can be no trail, no evidence, yeah? You know, if you need to make a phone call, it won't be like, oh, I'm thinking to call, you know, the girl will be sitting there thinking, oh, I want to call Tim Sebastian, let me see what he's doing, you know, just give him a random call, yeah? She'll be like, no, it has to be planned in advance, it has to be planned, I'm going to call you at 9 o'clock. I'm going to call you at 9, if you don't pick up by 9:01, I'm leaving the country, yeah? You know? And if someone else picks up the phone call, that's it, you change your line, you change your name, yeah? You have to get out of here, you can't get in trouble, yeah? So this is how drastic, this is how many actions they take. These guys, they could be like, you know, CIA operatives in the future, yeah? If they carried the same kind of idea, innit, about life. But the other thing is, this relationship can only last as long as no one knows about it, yeah? As soon as somebody finds out, you deny it. Plausible deniability, you can't get involved. You can't be like sitting there going, yeah, I agree. You're like, no, someone asks you, yeah, like, no, and they'll reject it. They'll reject it in the most, what's it called, most eloquent way. They'll be like, oh, bro, you going out with that girl? Are you dizzy, cuz? Yeah, that's what it will respond, isn't it, yeah? You know what I mean? And the fact is, they'll deny it and the relationship will be terminated. End of story. Because obviously, they don't want anyone to find out. Because if anyone finds out, their parents find out, they're going to get beats. It's so serious, they're going to get one-way ticket to Pakistan kind of serious, yeah? So they don't want to get in trouble, isn't it, yeah? They don't want to get in any sort of trouble. So for them, they're like, you know what, this is a temporary relationship, isn't it? But this is one type of relationship, yeah? Another type is you see, there's certain girls, yeah? There's certain type of girls, and they're like, they might be quite attractive, so they get a lot of attention. And what they do is they go with one guy, and what they'll do, when they're with that guy, they'll just clean him out nicely, yeah? He'll buy her, pick her out, he'll buy her jewelry, clothes, iPhone, iPad, everything you can imagine, yeah? You know, and as soon as he's broke, she's like, listen, it's over, yeah? You know what I mean, yeah? You got nothing else to give. And she's off to some next bread, yeah? And this guy, you know, like the bankers, yeah? They messed up this country, innit? Left it in recession. And she messes up the guy and leaves him in depression, yeah? You know what I mean, yeah? This is how it rolls, yeah? And she just carries on her little merry way, yeah? And this is another type of relationship that occurs, another type of personality. And then you have another type of girl. This girl, she's really intelligent. She's really intelligent, yeah. Like she's in college and she's like doing really well. And she's so smart, she's probably gonna go do medicine at Oxford or something, yeah? Like she's really, really intelligent. And then she's quite attractive, so boys wanna go out with her. And then she picks out some guy who's a bit of a fuck, he's a bit of a rude boy. She goes out with him. Now he's not really that smart. He's not actually that smart, yeah? So she goes out with him for about 2 years in college, and after college, she dumps him, yeah? Because obviously she's going to Oxford, he's going to work as a shop assistant in Claire's Accessories, you know what I mean? It's not really going to work, is it, yeah? Do you know what I mean? So she gets rid of him and she goes her own way, yeah? Do you know what I mean? And again, the guy's heartbroken, he's crying, yeah? And it's scary to see a big man cry, yeah? But this is what happens, yeah? So this is another type of relationship, yeah? And then we got another guy. Yeah? Do you know what I mean, yeah? So we have a guy, you know what I mean? You have a guy, you know, this guy, let's call him Ghulam, yeah? He's like, you know what I mean? He goes out with a different girl every week, yeah? Do you know what I mean, yeah? He's like, the way you change channels, yeah? He changes girls, yeah? Do you know what I mean? That's the way he rolls, yeah? And every week he's got a different girl. And you know what? He's only interested in one thing. As soon as he gets bored of you, that's it, it's over, yeah? You know, and sometimes he might be like, I want black, I want white, I want this, I want that, yeah? He's just chopping and changing, yeah? But for him, it's just like one girl after another. And if you ask the girls, you say, look, why are you going out with this guy? Be like, oh, you know what? He's like serious with me. Yeah, they're like, don't you know he's a player? He's like, no, but for me he's serious. And 1 week later, she's crying, yeah? You know what I mean, yeah? And you think, come on, man, let's do some research, yeah? And then I saw this final one that I could think of, yeah? Was that, look, you have these people, this boyfriend, girlfriend, they're going out, and they're on this thing what I call a shadi flex, yeah? And everyone they talk to, they're like, yeah, we're gonna get married. Yeah, we're gonna get married, yeah? Do you know what I mean? Inshallah, I'm gonna marry her, man. She's my wife, yeah? She's gonna be my wife, he's gonna be my husband, yeah? You know, when we get married, you know what I mean? We're gonna have monkeys dancing at the wedding, yeah? You know what I mean? Now I'm gonna wear a Dolce Gabbana suit, yeah? She's gonna wear something from Primark, yeah? And you know what I mean? We're gonna have shisha at the wedding, yeah? You know what I mean, yeah? And we're not gonna have any of this like packy food. We're gonna have Dixie chicken and chips, mate. Yeah, you get me? Serious. We're doing it real, yeah? And then come about a year later, everything fizzles out, and that's it, man. They go their separate ways, yeah? But this is the kind of relationships that I've kind of seen, yeah? But the thing is, you hear these examples here, and you're probably thinking, this is so stupid and so silly, yeah? But I'm sure we've all come across these kind of people, or come across these type of relationships, yeah? It's probably not something which I've just picked out of fantasy or something like that, isn't it, yeah? So why is it that people behave in this way? Why is it that people behave in this way? Let me give you a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, yeah? To give you some background, yeah? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, the example of a good companion and a bad companion is like that of the seller of musk and the one who blows the blacksmith's bellows, yeah? I.e., good and bad is the guy who sells musk and the guy who's a blacksmith, yeah? Works with what's it called, making keys and stuff like that, but he's very dirty, yeah? And so as for the seller of musk, then either he will grant you some, or you buy some from him, or at least you enjoy a pleasant smell from him, yeah? As for the one who blows the blacksmith's bellows, then either he will burn your clothes, or you get an offensive smell from him, yeah? And this is Bukhari and Muslim. And in this hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he's saying, look, if you hang out with someone who smells of attar, it smells nice, isn't it, yeah? Your clothes will smell nice, you will smell nice. You hang out with someone who does dirty manual work, your clothes are more likely to get dirty, isn't it, yeah? And he's saying this is companionship. You hang out with good company, it makes a good impression on you, isn't it, yeah? Hang out with bad company, has a bad impression upon you, yeah? But we can extend this, not just to friends, but to society. Just to society, because the fact is, where you grow up, the society you grow up in, it will shape you, yeah? It will shape you in a particular way, yeah? So, for example, if you grew up in a society where everybody swore, where everybody was swearing everywhere you went, yeah? It's like F this, blind this, da-da-da-da-da, yeah? Then you're more likely to swear, because it's normal, isn't it? If you don't, you feel a bit weird. You're like, man, I'm sworn enough today, man. I need to get some expletives out before I go to bed, yeah? Alright? Do you know what I mean? But on the other hand, if you're in a society where it's very polite, where everyone's really, really polite, you'll be courteous as well. You'll be really polite, yeah? Because you'll be like, why is this guy so rude? What's wrong with him, isn't it, yeah? You know what I mean? They might take you in for anti-terror, you know what I mean, inspection, yeah? Because like, what's wrong with this guy, yeah? But you have to be Muslim as well, yeah? I should clarify that as well, yeah? But the thing is, we grew up in a Western life, isn't it? We grew up in a Western society, yeah? And this shaped us in a particular way. It shaped us in a particular way. And subhanAllah, so many Muslim youth have been affected by this, yeah? An example that we see is that, look, Muslim youth today, they're dating, yeah? Boy, Muslims, yeah? Do you know what I mean, yeah? They're going out and they're dating, yeah? And they're going and they're celebrating, tomorrow they're going to be celebrating Valentine's Day. They're going to be sending each other these cards there saying, I love you, and da-da-da-da-da, and will you be my Valentine, yeah? And you know, on top of that, not only are they dating, they're cheating on each other, yeah? And they're going to the extent where they're actually having sex outside marriage, yeah? to the point where last year on the NHS, they had these things called hymen operations. And basically, I won't go into the details, but essentially what it is a woman, if she has sex outside marriage, basically you can tell if she's not a virgin, isn't it, yeah? So they're having operations to kind of look like she's a virgin, yeah? That's what it is. And they said Muslim girls were having these last year, yeah? A lot of Muslim women had this last year. And on top of that, in Tower Hamlets, yeah, I read a report a few years ago, the highest number of abortions were amongst teenage Muslim girls, yeah? Now that doesn't happen, there's no Maryam al-Islam kind of flexes all the time, yeah? Do you know what I mean? That's a miracle. So obviously these girls are up to no good, isn't it, yeah? And there's some boys up to no good as well. But this is affecting us, Muslim youth, yeah? Our community. Why? Why is this happening, yeah? I'll tell you why it's happening. It's because you've been force-fed. You've been force-fed this idea of freedom, yeah? This is what has been forced down your throats, yeah? And I should clarify what I mean by freedom, yeah? Because if you guys have been watching the news recently in Egypt, there's been a whole discussion on like people saying we want freedom, we want democracy. What does this mean, isn't it, yeah? So let me just explain what I mean by freedom, yeah? Because even in Islam, we have some level of freedom, yeah? Have some level of freedom, i.e. you're not forced to do everything, yeah? There's some certain things you have a choice in, yeah? There's certain choices, rights for Muslims and non-Muslims. So you can't force a non-Muslim to become Muslim. This is haram, yeah? It contravenes one of the articles of Shahada, and it's wrong. You can't do that. It's not allowed, yeah? Similarly, you can't force anyone to get married to anyone else, yeah? A Muslim has a right to marry whoever he wants. You can't force him to say yes, yeah? They have to consent to it. You have no, like, for example, you can't force someone to give sadaqah, isn't it, yeah? You know what I mean, yeah? These are a few examples. There's many other examples. You can't force someone to work, education, whatever, yeah? But the fact is that there's a level of thing what we call liberties and freedom and all this stuff, but the point I'm talking about is Western freedom, yeah? Western freedom, yeah? But the thing is, whenever someone uses the term freedom, they always mean it in this context, yeah? i.e. Western freedom. So we should be careful in using this term. I think we should not use it at all. We shouldn't say the word like, oh, I have freedom and da-da-da-da, because it gives wrong connotations, yeah? And some people, they say, oh, you know, if I talk to non-Muslims, I want to say that Islam is free. No, you don't need to convince them that our religion is the same as their way of life. No, our religion is better and different from their way of life. Our religion is better than their way. Our way of life is better than theirs, yeah? And we should be far superior to them, yeah? Do you know what I mean? So this issue is, just to clarify it, what we mean by freedom is that the Western sense of the word, yeah? You know what I mean, yeah? Which is Western freedom, yeah? And this is talking about do whatever you want. Do whatever pleases you, isn't it, yeah? Whatever you feel like doing, go do it, yeah? After work, you're a 50-year-old man, you want to go jump on a swing, go for it, yeah? You know what I mean, yeah? If you want to go home and you want to eat tel, go for it, yeah? You know what I mean, yeah? Nobody's going to say yes or no to you, isn't it, yeah? Do you know what I mean? You can do what you want, yeah? And this is the same thing that we saw in Egypt as well, yeah? Like in Egypt, they were calling for freedom and democracy. What does that mean? Democracy, they were saying we want to be able to elect our leader, isn't it, yeah? They weren't saying, yeah, we want to have the right to legislate that, you know, something haram can exist in society, isn't it? When they're saying freedoms, yeah, what are they saying? They want the freedom to work, to get education, to get a job, you know, to end poverty and corruption, isn't it, yeah? They're not saying is, I want the freedom for my daughter to go and wear miniskirts, yeah? Do you know what I mean? Or my brother to go and smoke weed. Or for my spouse, my husband or wife to cheat on me. That's what they're saying. That's what they're asking for, yeah? Who would ask for that, isn't it, yeah? Nobody's asking for that, isn't it, yeah? But this is how like the Western media made it. And that's the point. That's why we should always refrain from using this word freedom. Because it's negative connotations. But back to the topic, yeah? The youth carry this idea of freedom. They carry this idea of freedom. And what does that mean, yeah? This means that when they see the opposite sex, when they see a member of the opposite sex, yeah? What comes to their mind? They think, what am I comfortable with? What am I cool with? Yeah? They don't think, what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say about this matter? That's not what comes to their mind. That's not what they think about. What they're thinking about is, what am I cool with? Am I cool? Like some people are like, I'm not cool speaking to her, man. I'm not really cool with that, yeah? Some people are like, I'm cool to speak to girls, but that's it, man. That's my limit, innit, yeah? That's my limit. I said it there. Some people are like, no, I don't mind speaking. I can date a girl, actually. I don't want to get married to her, whatever reason, however he justifies it. I can speak, what's it called? I can speak to her, I can date her. But I ain't going to do nothing, no hanky-panky, yeah? And other people, they're like, I'm going to go all the way, yeah? They go all the way, they got the t-shirt and the diseases to prove it, yeah? You know what I mean, yeah? This is like, you know what I mean? There's many extremes, isn't it, yeah? But none of them, yeah? I let you laugh, yeah? None of them, yeah, is referring to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yeah? But you know, this matter, this issue, yeah? It's a result of freedom. This is all caused by freedom. Freedom to do what the hell you want. to whoever the hell you want as well, yeah? But saying that, yeah, you should understand one thing, yeah? And that is, this idea, there's a fact. Boys like girls, girls like boys. This is natural, yeah? This is natural. This is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us. He's created us in this fashion. That we are attracted to the opposite sex, yeah? And they are attracted to us. This is natural, yeah? Alright? And this is part of our instincts. We have an instinct which drives us, isn't it, yeah? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says in the Quran, this is the ayah said, recited at the start, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُم مَّوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَةٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. And among His signs is this, that He created from you mates from amongst He created for you mates from amongst yourselves, that you may dwell in tranquility with them. And He has put love and mercy between your hearts. Verily in that are signs for those who reflect. Yeah? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying here, look, I've made you partners. Partners that you can find enjoyment with, find tranquility with. Yeah? Partners that you can find love with, isn't it? Yeah? Do you know what I mean? Yeah? And you can feel your desires with. Yeah? This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying this. That's He's saying it's natural. Yeah? And as Muslims, we shouldn't be ashamed of this. Yeah, we shouldn't be ashamed of this, yeah? We shouldn't be like, oh, yeah, I fancy women, that's embarrassing, yeah? I mean, it's true, we all fancy women, isn't it? That's the face. We don't, there's some issues here, yeah? Do you know what I mean? Doesn't mean like you go outside and you start preaching on the street, it's like, hi, my name's Mohsin and, you know, I'm attracted to women, yeah? There's no need to say this kind of thing, you know what I mean? Let's calm down. If you're attracted to boys, yeah, tell me, yeah? Because I need to know that kind of stuff, yeah? Do you know what I mean? That's some red flag situation. But the thing is that this is natural, isn't it, yeah? This is all natural, yeah? Do you know what I mean, yeah? But the thing we need to understand is how we're going to fulfill this desire. How are we going to fulfill this desire, isn't it, yeah? And in Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in His infinite wisdom and mercy, He's established the institute of marriage. He's established the institute of marriage for us to fulfill our desires, yeah? In the best way, in the most correct way, yeah? That is not only good for our wives, but it's good for us as well, yeah? And we should understand this, we should reflect upon this, yeah? Because in this ayah it says, this is signs for those who reflect. So we should reflect upon this, yeah? Why is it so good? Why is it so good, yeah? And I want to talk about it as well, because some people, they say, you know what? The Islamic way is not practical, man. It ain't practical, yeah? It's too difficult, yeah? They're like, I'm agitated, bruv, yeah? You know what I mean? I see all these girls everywhere, and like, I can't do anything, you get me, yeah? Like, he's an animal, he wants to pounce or something, yeah? But, you know, this is he's saying, I can't do anything, yeah? You're thinking, what do you want to do, bro, yeah? Alright? If there wasn't police around, what would happen, yeah? But he's like, you know, it's too expensive to get married, it's too much responsibility, you know what I mean, yeah? And la-di-la-di-la. But then let's look at the alternative, isn't it? Let's switch over to the other side. Let's look at the alternative. Let's look at, because obviously if these Gore got it right, if these Kuffar got it right, then maybe we should copy them, isn't it? Maybe we should take their view, isn't it? So let's see what they base their relationship on freedom. The freedom to do what you want, yeah? With whoever you want, when you want, how you want, da-da-da-da-da, yeah? So this is their idea. So what did they do, yeah? So what does this freedom lead to, yeah? And what causes this, yeah? I mean, look at the problems it causes, yeah? So for example, one thing. When you are free, when you think you're free, who are you going to care about? You're going to care about you, isn't it? You're going to care about yourself, yeah? Because you're free to do what? To pursue your desires. Anyone who gets in the way of that is the obstacle for you, isn't it, yeah? You can be friends with someone, but when they get in the way of you fulfilling your desires, you're like, listen, this guy's not my friend anymore, he's my enemy now. You know what I mean, yeah? If you both go for the same girl, it's on, yeah? You know what I mean? There's no more friendship, yeah? But other than that, it's like, for example, you will have like, you know, family breakdown, yeah? Where, you know, the father and the son, they will want to see eye to eye on the issue, and they will like separate. Because the son's like, I've got my own things I want to do in life, yeah? Do you know what I mean? Even if they're going out with someone, yeah? Even if you're going out with someone, you always have that idea in your mind, is he going to cheat on me? Isn't it, yeah? Is she going to cheat on me, yeah? And you're always thinking to yourself, like, you know what, she's alright, but if someone better comes along, then, you know what I mean, yeah? Why should I settle for less, isn't it? Yeah? I could do better, yeah? There's always that kind of thing. So there's always that cheating process. You're worried, and at the same time, you're thinking to yourself, how can I get away with it, isn't it, yeah? And so on top of that, you get, as we mentioned before, diseases as well. Do you know what I mean, yeah? Isn't it, yeah? It's like, you go, obviously, if you're sleeping around women, then obviously other people have been there. It's not like you're the first man to boldly go there, isn't it? Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So don't be surprised, yeah. All right, what's lurking around, isn't it? Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And another thing that can happen is that people, they're so agitated and they're so vexed and they can't get anything. So either they go to prostitution, yeah, they start looking for prostitutes, or they go out and they rape someone, isn't it? Yeah, do you know what I mean? But this all comes from freedom, isn't it? Because I'm free to do what I want. So if I want to force myself on someone, I'll force myself on someone. If I want to pay someone, I'll pay someone. Isn't it, yeah? And this is the way their society is built, yeah? And that's just one aspect. That's just one aspect. On top of that, they're not interested in responsibility. Because when you talk about freedom to pursue your desires, yeah, you want to enjoy yourself. You want to have fun. There was that guy in the role play where he was like, oh man, I can't have fun, da 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 da. This is the reality. They want to have fun. So as soon as a kid is born, yeah, the father kicks, isn't it? Yeah, the mother can't kick because she has the kid first, isn't it? Yeah. Once she's had the kid, yeah, then she might kick as well, and the kid goes to an orphanage, isn't it? Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah. But, or you get single parent families, yeah, one father, our father or mother is absent, and therefore the kid just grows up and he doesn't get the care, yeah, because the father or mother, they're like, the single parent is a bit depressed anyway, or a bit upset, and they're lonely, or whatever. So many different issues, yeah. And they always have a family breakdown to add to that, so they get even more messed up on their own. Do you know what I mean? So many plethora of problems, yeah? And they don't get a lack of... and also, if you go out with someone and you really like them, you don't know where it's going. You don't know where it's going. Yeah, you could go out with someone 5, 10 years thinking, I know this person inside out, and then tomorrow she goes to you, you know what? It's over, yeah? I just don't find you attractive anymore, or you're just not rich enough I thought you'd be at this stage, yeah? Or, you know what I mean? I can't believe you're Pakistani, yeah? Do you know what I mean, yeah? Whatever it is, yeah? Do you know what I mean? Something will come out and it will just, that's it, it will game over. Because she's only interested in one thing really, which is firstly your looks and your stature and whatever, isn't it, yeah? And if you become Islamic as well, she's probably not on that because that's not really her. She's into freedoms, you're into slavery, so it's not really going to work, is it, yeah? Do you know what I mean, yeah? You don't really see eye to eye. And on top of that, this idea of freedom means you that when you want to fulfill your desires, you don't just fulfill them in like a set manner. You seek any way you can, yeah? You seek any way you can. So therefore, you get homosexuality, yeah? Okay, that's one level. Then you get, you know, pedophilia, yeah? Do you know what I mean? And we know there's many pedophiles in this country because they always keep catching them every week, isn't it, yeah? Right? It's like producing them in a factory somewhere, yeah? Do you know what I mean, yeah? And then you got another thing as well, bestiality, yeah? Which I'm not going to go into, but hopefully it's clear, yeah? Do you know what I mean, yeah? But this is the messed up thinking that goes on in people's minds, yeah? This is what people do, yeah? This is what people do, yeah? And why is it they're doing this? Because freedom is driving them. The freedom to fulfill their desires in any way they can or want to, isn't it, yeah? But I'll ask you one question. Do you think this can be a tranquil way of life? Do you think that this can be a tranquil way of life? Yeah? It can't be, can it? It can't be. How can it be tranquility? Yeah? There's no tranquility, yeah? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the ayah was talking about tranquility, yeah? Because you're constantly worried. You're constantly worried. When you're in a relationship, is he going to cheat on me? Even if you're married for 5 years, you're still thinking, is he going to cheat on me? Because you know, this is what guys do, isn't it, yeah? Sorry, why am I talking about a guy, woman's perspective? It's a bit weird, isn't it, yeah? So imagine your guy, yeah, he's thinking, my wife's going to cheat on me, yeah? We need to edit that part out, yeah? Right? The wife's thinking, yeah, you need to, what's it called, she might cheat on me, isn't it? She might cheat on me, yeah? And she might be thinking like, is he, yeah, anyway, look, the spouse will be thinking that other spouse is going to cheat on me, yeah? And are they committed to me, yeah? Do you know what I mean? And moving swiftly on, yeah? But the thing is, they don't have tranquility, they don't have peace of mind and peace of heart, isn't it, yeah? Because they're thinking, am I good looking enough? Am I attractive enough? Am I this? Am I that? Isn't it, yeah? And they're constantly worried because they know this is what really counts in this society. The looks is what drives everything, yeah? If you ain't good looking, just kill yourself now, basically. Yeah? Do you know what I mean? Yeah? There's no point. There's no hope for you, isn't it? Yeah? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And actually, I was thinking about this point. You know, it's like I was thinking about Valentine's Day, and I thought V-Day, and I thought D-Day, like Doomsday, innit? And I thought Valentine's Day is like a Doomsday. It's like a Judgment Day. It's a day you get judged. Either you're an attractive person, like this brother here, mashallah, yeah, right? Right? You know what I mean, yeah? Or you're butters, isn't it? Yeah? No, I'm not picking anyone else out, yeah? I think it was butters, yeah? You know what I mean, yeah? But, you know what I mean? So it's a judge. You don't get any cards, you're butters, yeah? You get some cards, oh man, you know what I mean? You're flossing bloods, yeah? You know what I mean? But it's like, what kind of judge is this, isn't it? It's based on looks. You don't even know anyone, you don't speak to them, you don't know who they are, isn't it, yeah? It's purely based on looks. And it's so superficial and it's so futile. But let's look at what Islam offers. It's what the Islamic marriage, yeah? And it is a practical alternative, yeah? But the fact is, it's true. It does require serious thought and commitment. Yeah, it's not a joke. Yeah, it's not a joke, and we should realize that. Yeah, we should realize that, because the fact is, in this society, it's all about one night stands. Do you know what I mean? Quick flings. Yeah, you know, I'm not interested in anything serious. What the hell is that? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, what kind of statement is that? Someone's in my house, I'm not interested in anything serious. So they say, just have bread then, innit? Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? This is what you're gonna get, isn't it? Yeah. But the thing is that Islamic marriage, it gives tranquility to the heart, because you know that if you engage in this action, yeah, if you when you're married, yeah, you know that it's something, you know that your spouse is not going to cheat on you. They're not going to do these things, do these nasty things, because their thinking is not like that. It may happen, but it's very unrealistic. It's very uncommon, isn't it? Yeah, why? Because they're thinking in a particular way. They're Islamic. You're Islamic. Yeah, you're not thinking in terms of freedoms, isn't it? Yeah, that's not what's driving you. So if that's not what's driving you and your spouse, then why would you act in that way? Isn't it? You wouldn't. You'd always look at what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. Yeah? And so, similarly, they're not looking out for number one. They're looking out for each other, isn't it? They're trying to help each other out, isn't it? Yeah? Do you know what I mean? And to be honest, this issue of commitment and of confidence and trust that someone's not going to run away and cheat on you, whatever, you know what, the kuffar, they live in fear of this. They live in fear of, because they can't have tranquility and peace of mind because of this. Whereas we get it and we take it for granted. Yeah, we take it for granted. Yeah? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, we take it for granted. I mean, it does happen, as I said. But how common is it that a man or woman, they run away with someone else? How common? It's very uncommon. Amongst the Muslim community, alhamdulillah, it's something Allah is still protecting us from, yeah? And it gives us tranquility, it does. It does give us tranquility. Yeah, you don't have this fear, oh, I'm going away for a business trip. Hope my wife's there when I get back, yeah? You don't have this fear, isn't it, yeah? Do you know what I mean, yeah? Isn't it, yeah? Whereas, like, you know, imagine, what's his name? What's that guy called? Wayne Bridge, man. Boy, you know what? He ain't gonna trust nobody. Like, he locks his door. He locks his wife in before he leaves now, yeah? You know what I mean, yeah? Because he's like, boy, I have to lock these doors, make sure no one gets in, no one come out, yeah? He's put security cameras everywhere, yeah? Do you know what I mean? But the thing is, we have to look at Islamic marriage in a particular way, which is that Islamic marriage is an act of ibadah, yeah? This is what you have to understand, because today there's a, you know what, people, like, a lot of Muslims, they look at things like roles and responsibilities. That's her role, bloods. Know your role, yeah? This is my role, yeah? Know my role, yeah? And whatever, yeah? This is how they go along, isn't it? This is how it all is, isn't it, yeah? Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna pay, you're gonna clean, this is how it's gonna work. Isn't it, yeah? This is how it is, isn't it? This is how it is. We need to realize something here. We need to realize something here, which is, look, marriage is an act of ibadah. What does that mean? What does that mean? That means that if you want to get married, then you as a Muslim, you have to feel the rights of your wife. You have to feel the rights of your wife. If you don't do that, then you're neglecting your duty. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will account you for that. Yeah? Because this is why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, when one marries, they have fulfilled half of their religion. So let them fear God regarding the remaining half. What does that mean? Because this action, yeah, when you please your wife, you please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yeah? You fulfill her need. You can't please women all the time, so that's like a disclaimer that's there, yeah, right? But if you, like, for example, if you can fulfill her needs, isn't it, yeah, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah, he'll be pleased as well, isn't it, yeah? And then inshallah, she seeks to please your needs, isn't it, yeah? She doesn't have to ask you, yeah, to do things. You don't have to ask her to do things, yeah? Do you know what I mean? Yeah? Unlike the kuffar, where they're like give and take, they're like, listen, I'm going to do 25% of the housework, you're going to do 75% of the housework, I'm going to cook on Tuesdays, you're going to cook the rest of the week, I'm going to cook, you know what I mean, yeah? I'm going to do this, I'm going to raise the kids, you're going to work, whatever, yeah? Do you know what I mean? So they have like their whole rota, and it's all give and take. It's like, I paid for the holiday last year, you pay for it this year. Yeah, you pay, you know what I mean? The Valentines, you pay for this year, yeah? Yeah, and do you know what I mean? It's like just like proper like, it's like what kind of people, your partner's in like business or something, yeah? Do you know what I mean, yeah? That's what it's like, isn't it? When it's like marriage shouldn't be like that, and we need to realize that, yeah? We need to clarify this point. When we want to, the marriage is actually ibadah. We want it to please our wives, to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah, yeah? And the thing is, Islam actually encourages us to get married young. Islam actually encourages us to get married young, because there's a hadith there where, narrated by Abdullah, who said, we were with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam while we were young and had no wealth whatsoever. So Allah's apostle, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, O young people, whoever among you can marry should marry, because it helps him lower his gaze and guard his modesty, his private parts, from committing any haram. And whoever is not able to marry should fast, as fasting diminishes his sexual power. Yeah? And this is again in Bukhari. This is the point. Islam encourages us to get married. Yeah, encourages us to get married young. Yeah, so we can protect ourselves from harm. Yeah, protect ourselves from haram. Actually, yeah. But saying that, yeah, I do want to say though, look, even though Islam encourages getting married young, we have to be serious about it and mature about it. Yeah, you're serious about it, mature, because it's a responsibility, brothers. It is a responsibility, and it is a lot of demands, and it is a lot of hard work. Yeah, and I don't want to scare you, but the thing is, it's a commitment, isn't it? It's a lifetime commitment, essentially. Yeah. It ain't no 12-month or whatever it's 18-month phone contract, yeah? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's the biggest commitment you guys got going on in your lives at the moment. Yeah? Right? So, you know what I mean? Don't compare the two. Don't be like, yeah, if I get through this, I'll get through that, yeah? Don't think about it, bro. Yeah, don't think about it, yeah? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, because you know what I mean. One thing you gotta realize is that marriage is off the hanger, yeah. You thought I was gonna say hook, isn't it? Yeah, that's what you thought I was gonna say. You guys think that? And you didn't, oh damn it didn't work, yeah? What I was going to say is expect the unexpected, yeah? Cut that out, yeah? Alright? So, I was going to say expect the unexpected. That's what marriage is, yeah? Do you know what I mean, yeah? Because the thing is, what you expect is going to happen, may not happen. Yeah? And what you expect don't going to happen, it's probably going to happen, yeah? Do you know what I mean? And so you got to be prepared. You got to be prepared. Don't think it's all gardens and roses and singing in the park and stuff in Hyde Park, whatever, yeah? And running between trees and getting arrested by the police warden and whatever, yeah? Like, what are you doing here? Do you have a passport? Are you national? Whatever, yeah? And all this stuff, yeah? So that's not what life's about, yeah? But the thing is, alhamdulillah, I'm sure that we all have a desire to get married. We want to get married. And if you're interested in that, I would say, look, you need to speak to your family about it first, yeah? Don't just go and chat to some girl randomly and say, yeah, Zulekha, I want to marry you. Yeah, I'm here to marry you. You know what I mean? Don't go from that angle. Just go chat to your family. Yeah, speak. Do it in a responsible way. Do it in a mature way. Because if you're serious, you need to do things in a mature way. Don't be immature. Yeah, do you know what I mean? If you're gonna be immature about this process, you ain't gonna be mature about marriage. I'll tell you that much right now. Yeah, you need to be mature about this process and be mature about marriage. Speak to your family. Speak to our brothers even here, inshallah. Maybe they can help you. Ask them for advice. Ask them for help. Maybe some understanding. Yeah, and on top of that, whatever actions you take, always make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for you, to find a good spouse. A spouse, not only that you like and that you get along with, but someone that's good for your deen. Yeah? Someone that's going to advise you and remind you of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Someone who's going to, inshallah, help you to attain Jannah, to attain Allah's pleasure, isn't it? Yeah? That's what you want. Because you marry a woman and, like, you know, some attractive woman, supermodel, but, you know what I mean, she, at the end of the day, you lose out, yeah, on akhirah because of her. Trust me, yeah, you will regret it, yeah, in this life and the next life, yeah, you will regret it, and there's no need to have that regret. There's no need. Look for the best things, yeah. Look for piety, yeah. And in the meantime, obviously, while you're looking, if you're agitated, then I would say definitely you need to. Ideally, I recommend. Obviously, Prophet ﷺ, he recommended fasting, yeah, to control your sexual desires. So you should do that. And lower your damn gaze, you get me, yeah? Just drop it to the curb, yeah? Do you know what I mean, yeah? Just, you know what I mean? Just have like some sort of like iPod or something to look, yeah? Do you know what I mean, yeah? Some sort of sonar system, yeah? You don't have to worry about it. But no, seriously, just, I would say, keep your contact with women to a minimum, yeah? Because the more contact you have with women, the more chance you have of error, the more chance you have of getting yourself messed up, yeah? Of desires, unhidden desires becoming unleashed, yeah? You know what? One thing leads to another. And it's the small steps which lead to the big harams, I'll tell you that much now, yeah? There's no like, you don't run towards haram, you fall into it. That's actually what happens, yeah? So always be wary of that, yeah? And remember, the purpose of marriage is to seek Allah's pleasure. Always remember that. Always keep that in mind. Jazakallah khair.